You know that feeling, right? When you've given your absolute all to someone. I mean, you've poured every single ounce of your energy, your time, and your heart into a relationship, only to wind up feeling totally drained or worse, really hurt. It's a feeling so many of us have been through. So let's get into why that happens and, more importantly, how we can find a healthier balance. So let's just cut right to the chase with the big question. Is making someone the absolute center of your universe a mistake? I know, it sounds like the very definition of love, but what if, just what if, it's the one thing that's setting us up for heartbreak? The source we're digging into for this explainer puts forward a pretty bold, almost radical idea. And it's captured perfectly in this quote. The idea is that the amount of pain we feel is directly tied to how much importance we put on someone else. Now that can be a tough pill to swallow for sure, but let's unpack it together.
Okay, so let's start with this paradox that I'm sure a lot of you have experienced, the high price of love. How can something that feels so beautiful, so right, also end up being the source of so much pain?
And let's be real, in the beginning, it feels absolutely amazing, doesn't it? That feeling of pouring your whole heart into someone, of giving everything you've got. It feels like you're creating something truly special. There's a genuine magic in that.
So, why do we do this? Why do we get so lost in it? Let's dig into the real, deep-down reasons we tend to go all in like this.
And what's so interesting is that the reasons are usually pretty good ones. I mean, it's a totally natural human need to want that one special person. And we genuinely believe they deserve our best. It often just comes from being a good, kind-hearted person. But here's the crucial little misstep we make. We get so caught up that we forget to pause and ask ourselves, hey, are they truly worthy of this level of sacrifice?
And this, right here, is probably the most important thing to remember. The problem isn't your ability to love. That's actually your superpower. The mistake is in how you're applying that love. It's about giving an unlimited supply to someone who maybe hasn't earned it or just can't match it. Think of it as a miscalculation, not some kind of flaw in who you are.
So how exactly does this overinvestment turn into actual pain? Well, our source gives us a really powerful analogy to help make sense of it all, the overflowing glass.
Just picture it like this. A glass can only hold so much water, right? A glass filled to the right level, that's refreshing, that's a balanced, healthy relationship. But what happens if you just keep pouring and pouring, completely ignoring that the glass is already full? Well, the water overflows. It goes everywhere. And that overflow makes a huge mess, a kind of chaos that spills into every other area of your life. That mess, that's the pain we're talking about.
And the costs of that overflow are very, very real. It's not just a feeling. It leads to being taken for granted, to sudden and deep emotional pain. And yeah, it can even mess with your work and your professional life. When you're constantly dealing with that mess, everything else just kind of suffers.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem, we get it. But what in the world do we do about it? This next part is all about the solution, a practical guide to finding that balance by, as the source says, learning to give less importance. Here's another fantastic analogy to help us out. Think about your phone. If you are super attached to it, it's your whole life, then losing it feels like a genuine tragedy. But if the phone is just a tool, a useful object, then losing it is, an inconvenience. You'll get a new one. The phone is the exact same object in both scenarios. It's your attachment to it that decides how much pain you feel.
Our source uses a specific term for this, bhav dana, and honestly, it's the perfect way to describe it. It's not just about paying attention to someone. It's the total sum of the emotional importance, the value, and the pure energy you decide to invest. It's basically the currency of your emotional life.
So the solution is, in theory, pretty simple. It's about becoming a smarter emotional investor. You need to match the bhav you're giving to the bhav you're getting back. You only give as much importance as the other person proves they deserve through their actions, not just based on your hopes for who they could be.
So how do we actually do this? How do we put this into practice? Well, the final piece of this puzzle isn't about trying to control the other person. It's all about controlling ourselves. This is an act of self-preservation.
And really, it all boils down to this one thing. The single most important, most powerful tool you have in your emotional toolkit is self-control. It's that ability to just pause, take a breath, assess the situation, and regulate how much you're giving out. Our source calls this the ultimate defense mechanism, and it comes from personal experience. By controlling your emotional investment, you are actively protecting your own heart. It's like you're building an emotional floodgate to stop the overflow before it even starts.
And let's be crystal clear about something. This whole idea, it isn't about becoming cold or cynical or loving less. Not at all. It's about loving smarter. It's about taking your incredible capacity to love and channeling it in a way that protects your own well-being, making sure you don't give so much of yourself away that there's nothing left for you. So we're going to end with the one question that this entire journey leads to.
Before you even begin to decide how much importance you're going to give to somebody else, you have to answer this first. What is your own worth? Because once you truly know the answer to that, you'll know exactly how much of yourself you can afford to give away.